Hi guys, Collar here, bringing you another Zerg vs. Zerg epic matchup. And this was actually suggested by one of my viewers, Black Magister, for a game that, while it didn't make the Pimpus playlist, did make a Starleague SC Legacy top 10 of the year list, I believe. And this is Yellow vs. GGplay on a very long and epic Zerg vs. Zerg game, played in the OSL in 2005 in the round of 16. And we have GGplay here spawning in orange at the 7 o'clock position, and we have yellow spawning in red at the 1 o'clock position. So after doing yesterday's epic and long Pimpus play matchup, I made a little short compilation of clips this morning, and I just felt like I really wanted to do one more Zerg vs. Zerg. So here it is, the game I promised you guys, and thanks again, Black Magister, for giving me the suggestions. So yeah, you guys keep the suggestions coming. I definitely, if something looks really interesting and I can find a high quality video or a replay, I'll definitely do it. If I don't have anything else on the line on the list of things to do. It looks like Yellow here is going for his Overlord first. And this map is 815. I don't know if I mentioned it. It's a 4-player map, fairly large. There's 2 sort of island expansions in the middle. Each base is on a ramp and has a natural expansion with a moderate-sized choke point. So a fast expansion could be possible here, some sort of 12 hatchery or 10 hatchery build, because there are 4 players and a 9-pool rush probably would not be successful. And we see here Yellow... GGplay is actually getting his extractor first before any other buildings, so he definitely wants to get an early gas lead on Yellow, and perhaps save this up for more Mulisks in the future. Yellow, meanwhile, looks like he's getting his 12th drone, and looks like a spawning pool is going up for GGplay. So interesting build here from GGplay, but it's fairly standard for Zerg vs. Zerg. It's one of the standard permutations, and it looks like Yellow has indeed gone for a 12 hatchery build here. So his Zergling production is going to be a little bit slower, but GGplay and Yellow are at cross positions, so I think this does favor Yellow. Yellow will have an economic lead pretty soon, although I believe GGplay is going to probably tech fairly fast here. It looks like he's probably going to go for a 1 hatchery build here, into lair at least, a 1 hatchery into lair, because of the early gas. That does sort of signal that. And it looks like Yellow has gotten his spawning pull up and his extractor. And yeah, so last game, I mean, I highly recommend you watch it if you haven't, if you have about an hour to spare, and you haven't seen it yet. It's a very long Zerg vs. Zerg between 2 foreign players, and by foreign, of course, I mean non-Korean, and it used every single unit in the Zerg arsenal except for Broodlings and Infested Terran, as someone pointed out. But it started off as a pretty standard mutiless Zergling game, and then it switched to something completely different. Both players going to Hive and getting Defilers, Lurkers, and Plague really became a big issue in that game. It looks like, by the way, GGplay has gone for his lair early on here. He has indeed gone for a one hatchery lair build, so he's definitely going to have his tech much faster than Yellow will, but Yellow's not far behind actually. He's gotten his lair upgraded, and he already has his natural expansion, and it doesn't look like GGplay is committing to any sort of rush here. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, yeah, 815 has these narrow ramps that only allow 1 unit across at a time, and it really makes it very, almost like an island map. Large units simply can't get up that ramp, in fact, and only small units like Zerglings can get up. But yeah, I mean, I highly doubt that either. Well, actually, I'm not going to highly doubt that either player is going to go for Hydralisks, but on a map like this with the small ramps, it's a very different map from Rush Hour, and looks like Aspire is going for GGplay, and going for an all-ground unit type of build would be very difficult, I feel, especially with the small ramps. You couldn't get any. I don't think you can even get Hydralisks up. Perhaps I'm wrong about that. I don't think you can get Lurkers up. I believe that's the size limitation. You can't get large units. I'm not sure about medium-sized units, actually. It looks like the Spire has already gone up for GGplay. Meanwhile, the lair hasn't finished morphing yet for Yellow, and looks like finally GGplay is going to get a scout on in Yellow's base. Because they are in cross positions, it's been difficult for him to scout. It looks like he's actually might be able to kill off a drone of Yellow's. The drone is getting chased around here. It looks like he does kill off a drone there. Good work by him, I guess. And GGplay, it's going to come down to whether GGplay's Mulisks can do enough damage to Yellow to make up for the fact that he doesn't have his expansion. and he probably, well, his drone count's probably about similar actually at this point. But of course, Yellow's production will get a lot stronger pretty soon. And looks like Yellow's actually pushing up a couple of Zerglings. He's not going to get anywhere though up this narrow ramp, and he does retreat. And it looks like Yellow's actually setting up a hidden expansion here at the lower right corner. I don't think he'll be able to defend it very well if it is detected, but he is trying to set up a second expansion here at the 5 o'clock position. This is definitely not standard Zerg versus Zerg play in the Korean scene. Definitely unstandard. Most Korean ZvZ matches do not end up with a lot of macro, simply because almost after the Spire is created, almost all the resources end up being used either for Mulisks or for Scourge. Of course, with some minerals left over for Zerglings, but you really just don't have the excess minerals to get another hatchery. And of course, it is very difficult to defend against the highly mobile Mutalisk and Speedling combination. It looks like Mutalisk being produced for both players, I assume, well, eggs being more for both players. It looks like, yeah, 5 Mutalisks perhaps out for GGplay, and it's going to hunt down some of these Zerglings. Yellow will let them dawdle there a little too long in front of GGplay's base, and GGplay will take them out here. But of course, the cross positions, like I said, is going to benefit Yellow because of his more macro-heavy build here. And it's going to come down, I think, a lot to whether GGplay can spot the lower right expansion. It looks like he might be going for this lower right expansion. I don't know how he knows about it. He's almost psychic here, but I don't know how he scouted it, but he has scouted it. And it's going to be very difficult for Yellow to hold this. Yellow is bringing his Mutalisks over, but it looks like GGplay is concentrating all of his forces from the minimap. I can see he's bringing all of his Zerglings, it seems, also to attack this new expansion here. And Yellow's going to be very far behind if he doesn't manage to hold his expansion, but Yellow's going right for GGplay's main here. Yellow going for a counterattack. He's perhaps using this as perfect timing to kill off a couple of drones. And of course, drones are very precious in Zerg versus Zerg. On the other hand, though, GGplay could even go into Yellow's base right now and do the same thing to him. And looks like Yellow's actually forced to retreat from just one Mutalisk. The rest of the Mutalisks are coming back. It looks like he picked off a couple of drones there, but these Zerglings are doing a lot of damage to this hatchery. But Yellow manages to morph a couple more Zerglings, so they're going to probably... No, they're not going to kill off all the Zerglings, so unfortunately, because there was one more Zergling to start with. Yellow, meanwhile, back on GGplay's mineral line here. It will come down how much damage he can do. I'm actually a little surprised he's flying away. It looks like he's going to try to save his hatchery there at the lower right corner. And it looks like spore colonies are up for Yellow inside of his main base, so that's why he was he dared to move out so cavalierly with his Mutalisk just to go in for an attack. But he is going to be behind in his Mutalisk account. Partially because GGplay does have more gas, and partially because Yellow has used so much minerals to build those spore colonies and build his extra hatchery. So he's relying more on Scourge here, and good micro by GGplay, killing off a lot of Scourge. And now he's going to work here. The spore colony is down here, and looks like 5 Mutalisks left for GGplay. I'm not sure how many Mutalisks are left for. 3 Mutalisks left for Yellow. Yellow needs to get a couple more Mutalisks or Scourge to be able to deal with this successfully. Zergling's also coming up for GGplay here. Meanwhile, Yellow is trying to go for another counter on GGplay's main, and the Zerglings are probably going to be able to take down his hatchery. I believe they will be able to. Looks like they forced the Spore to cancel, and now they're doing damage to hatchery once again here. And I think they're going to be able to take it down here. I'm not sure if Yellow's going to be able to hold here. This is going to be really close. He's not going to be able to hold here. That's being morphed into a Spore. And yeah, this hatchery will go down here. Yellow bringing his troops back way too late here to stop these 5 Zerglings from picking off his hatchery. And it looks like yeah, his Spore colony is also going to go down. So a little careless here. And also, yeah, I think Yellow is quite far behind now in this contest. I don't know how he's going to get back into this game. He does have 2 bases to GGplay's 1 still, but at this point he's lost a lot of resources, a lot of minerals in trying to expand there and trying to hold that expansion. And now Yellow's forced back into his base. GGplay setting up Yellow's setting up a sort of hidden hatchery / expansion at the upper left. Really interesting play there, but GGplay has spotted it out there. I don't know if Yellow notices that, but Yellow is not going to be able to hold that hatchery there. It's not even in a mining position. Actually, no, it is in the mining position to get gas, actually. Not to get the minerals. I guess he was just hoping for it to be hidden there. Really interesting a position there. I mean, it's just it's really bizarre, actually, to be honest. Perhaps he wants to create some creep and then get some creep colonies and get some defenses up there before he does anything. This is GGplay's first person view. It looks like he's got 12 Mutalisks here, and notice there's no clumping on the Mutalisks. That is, they're not using the stacking trick that we see nowadays. I think this was before the day of the stacking trick. In any case, though, he is doing a good job with his micro, and looks like Yellow's going to be able to intercept some of his overlords, though. And Yellow definitely playing an interesting game here, going for a macro-heavy game, and looks like now he's going to be greeted with overwhelming Air Force here, and he's going to lose some of these mulas, because if he doesn't run away, he is desperately trying to run away, but right now, GGplay clearly has air dominance here, and GGplay can easily finish off that hatchery that's formed in the upper left corner there, and looks like Yellow is just trying to retreat desperately. He's going to probably get a couple of mulas picked off, though, and GGplay just focusing on them. Meanwhile, Yellow looks like he's bringing a couple of, I guess, Zerglings up to the upper left. Yeah, that is exactly what he's doing. He's trying to get up some defenses on the creep there before he plants a second hatchery, or perhaps all he's going to do is just mine gas there. Actually, it would be quite wise just to mine gas from that location. I changed my mind, because he probably will have enough minerals from his 2 bases right now, but what he needs to worry about right now is the superior Air Force that GGplay has. If GGplay can pick off a couple of spore colonies, Yellow will be done for. But Yellow seems like he's the one relying on static defenses instead of attack units here. He's committing a lot to these spore colonies. And for a while, at least, the spore colonies will be successful in holding off GGplay. This reminds me a lot of Place